creativity is about a two-way experience where you experience something that plants a seed that you then deliver back in to whatever it is you're experiencing. And it becomes this circular movement that basically travels with you for the rest of your life. It defines you, forms you, inspires you, scares you. And in that world, good and bad has no meaning, because in the world of digital revolution, everything is acceptable, everything is common, and there's something for everyone. That kind of world is where I come from, because it's the future. And I've always felt I came from the future.
If you've ever seen a Nicholas Winding Refn film, whether you enjoyed it or not, you cannot deny that it was visually stunning, and if you do, you're either blind or a liar. Refn is actually colourblind, making him unable to see the mid-range of colours across the spectrum. This explains why his films feature such bold, contrasting colours, as if they didn't, he wouldn't be able to enjoy his own films. Refn believes that he's from the future, and because of this, he wholly embraces the digital revolution.
I mean, I think that the digital world is, I mean, you know, most movies are seen in a digital form anyway. So I think that we might as well embrace the fact that we have to watch a movie but with an iPhone.
Even though fellow director Gaspar Noé seems to disagree with Refn's idea of watching films on iPhones, I believe that more filmmakers are embracing the technology we have today, something that Martin Scorsese actively encourages.
It's all new. You just break it open. Break open the form. Don't just you know, have your tripod and a camera that's standing on it. The cameras that are being made now, and of course the fact that all Arriflex and other cameras have stopped being made, and whether we like it or not, we have to deal with a new technology, high definition, or digital, whatever it's called. You younger ones, you make a new art. Take what's available, push it, you know, because it's going to go there. You could do anything.
Although Refn makes films for the future generations,
I make films for young people, and emotions run high when you're young, but also that's what makes it interesting.
he takes inspiration from a diverse range of sources that are often quite old. For example, the music in his films, which are mostly composed by Cliff Martinez, although they sound modern, they're actually inspired by much older soundtracks.
Then I found this. I didn't know that there was this release. This is a beautiful soundtrack to one of the great cinematic experiences, the Red Balloon. It seemed to be an original. I like things like that. I like when elements are old. That I'm definitely gonna get.
Another more obvious inspiration for the music in his films is the synth pop of his youth, which can be seen in Bronson when he uses contemporary artist Glass Candy's song, Digital Versacolor. Refn takes from the past and spins it in a way that feels futuristic. Refn avoids conformity and fights against what is normal.
I wanted to show to everyone else that having any kind of handicap can also be a blessing. And anything that's normal is so fucking uninteresting.
His desire to create something that isn't considered ordinary is very clear in his films, especially in the more recent ones. Because of this, whenever he screens a new film, it has somewhat of a Marmite effect. Some people love it and others really hate it.
Neon Demon, the new film by Nicholas Winding Refn, which has caused a lot of controversy. Apparently when it played at Cannes there was some applause and some booing, which is the way it typically goes. Exactly standard, as you know, as we refer to it in Cannes, it's mooing.
But Refn thinks of this as a positive thing rather than a negative.
If I don't split, what are we doing here? You know, art is not about good or bad, guys. It's those days are over. The internet has changed, so film as an art form is about an experience. Good or bad is your Chinese food or your pepper steak at whatever French bistro you had last night. Creativity is about reactions, and reactions is the essence of an experience. The essence of an experience is planting thought. If you don't react, what are you doing here? Why would you waste your time here? You mean there's so many other things in life that are worth doing than watching a movie or TV show just to consume time? That's dumb.
Everyone agreeing to like something usually means that it didn't penetrate very deep. Because how are we supposed to all agree on something when people are so goddamn different? Same thing as everyone hating it.
Because of this attitude REFN has towards creativity, he doesn't shy away from adversity, but instead seeks it out, making every one of his films as if it was his last.
And there hasn't been one movie where I thought it was going to be great and turned out disastrous. I'm always at a constant fear of failure, but I like that. It makes me high. It excites me. It arouses me. And I think that that thing of like hating something is a process you go through in making it. Like you really hate it and you wish you never made it because it's going to fail miserably. But you have to get that emotions out of you as well, you know? Because in a way, the more you hate it, the more you're going to love it.
REFN's films are driven by emotion and style, which is why I believe many critics disregard him as a filmmaker.
Watching your movies reminds me of like watching Vampyr by Dreyer or things like that. That it goes all the way back to the pure origin of film, where it's really all about an image and a piece of music and an emotion, and not about constructions or actors or distribution that eventually will come down the line for us.
He shoots chronologically as to not get confused, but also so that he can make his films more organically, changing the script throughout the process.
And because I shoot in chronologically order, it made the film even more complex as we went along. When you make a movie, you always, when you rewrite and while you're shooting, you give the page a color. And I think I went through that 2 times, the all rainbow colors, because we kept on rewriting the whole movie. We reshot the ending even, because I went home and always rethought I wanted something else, and we were able to indulge into that together.
One thing that I find unique about REFN, outside of the creative element of filmmaking, is his openness around money. He would never let money damage his creative intent, but accepts the reality that film is a business.
So it's all about this mathematical approach to forcing yourself to be as instinctually fearless as possible. And the only rule of the game is make sure it makes money. And you do that by basically approaching, as I do, every movie as if it's going to be the last movie. Because if you're going to go out, you're going to go out with a bang.
And I have to tell you something, money is a very good reason for work, because fear of not being able to eat or pay your rent is a great way to be very creative very quickly.
Although REFN purposely avoids the ordinary, one of his main motivations in life is massively superficial and very much in the mainstream: fame.
The movie starts with Charlie Bronson saying, "All my life I wanted to be famous." I've said that line 1 billion times. Well, I don't have a driver's license at all. I failed 8 times. And the only reason why I passed the written exam is I could remember it, like the answers, but I didn't know what they meant.
Because you are dyslexic, right?
I'm dyslexic, yes.
And?
Colorblind.
Yeah.
And I wasn't very good at sports in school, so I didn't really have a girlfriend until I was 24.
Who is?
Liv.
Who is now?
My wife, though she turned me down and kept the ring. But we're still together. We got 2 kids.
Right.
It's great. I got everything when I got
daughters.
famous.
I believe that the way REFN makes films from the future is he takes from the mainstream.
Regarding Instagram, how do you see it and how do you feel about it?
Well, I had a private Instagram for a long time
Right.
that just follow my friends, just my friends knew about it. And then I decided on my 18th birthday actually to just go do a public one.
So I gotta work on mine. So
You need to do one. Why don't you
why
want
don't we
one?
set one up today when we get back to the
Okay,
hotel?
good.
We'll download the thing on my phone,
Yeah.
we'll set it up, and then we will post the first photo.
Okay, today.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. You have to have a good profile,
Yeah.
photo.
You gotta tell me, you gotta help me with all those kind of
Okay.
he or she said things.
Okay. Good.
Breaking news.
There it
We
is.
heard it on ID.
And then mixes the mainstream with his own odd interests and fetishes.
Do you think you're misunderstood as a filmmaker because you're interested in where violence comes from and how violence can be born out of masculinity in a lot of ways?
Well, I think the best way to answer that is to say that the more feminine violent is, the more reactionary it becomes. It's like sexualizing it. And in a way, the more masculine you want to be, the more feminine you have to become. It's like I believe there's a 16-year-old girl inside every man.
Absolutely.
Because of this, I think his films will always stay relevant and timeless. Even if only a few people truly love his films now, I believe that as time goes on and people become more open-minded, they will begin to appreciate REFN's work even if they don't particularly like it. The consequence of REFN's uniqueness and openness leaves him vulnerable to cynics who pass him off as pretentious. But I'll let someone else respond to the cynics in Nick's place.
It's like, shut the fuck up, I will fucking laser you with alien fucking eyes and explode your fucking head. Shut the fuck, try to write a rap. Okay then, I made this fucking t-shirt, now shut up. and it cost me everything I had.